the other day, "Why are you being asked to speak about gun control?" "No offense to you," he said, "you aren't an expert on this issue. Why did Time magazine and the BBC ask you to speak about guns?" I paused for a second and I almost agreed with him. "You're right," I said. "I'm not an expert, but then who is? I'm a former Marine, I'm a mother, a wife, a teacher, and I care deeply about this issue and about my students. You know when I am an expert. I'm qualified on the M16 and the .45 pistol. I have a master's degree in political science and I've taught AP government for many years. I've followed the gun debate and gun legislation. I've watched as teachers and students have been slaughtered in Columbine, Sandy Hook, Virginia Tech, and Parkland. Put it all together, and I am as much an expert as a gun lobbyist or a state legislator. Yep. And yet, I'm more than an expert. I'm a target. Every day I go to my high school and I pray that my students and I will get through the day. Each day I hope that no one will grab a weapon and take aim at us. Because even though my school district has greatly improved safety, I'm still very much at the mercy of a society and a government that have chosen to protect the Second Amendment rights of the few rather than the right to life of the many.
Yep. Yes!
How did it happen that gun rights have superseded our right to live? Yeah. It's a rhetorical question, but one we should be thinking about. I am not anti-gun. I am anti-absolute gun. Yep. I believe there is a sweet spot of common sense legislation that will protect everyone.
Yes!
And we need to work toward achieving that sweet spot. At the beginning of every school year, I ask students to form a human ideological chain on gun rights. At one end stand students who believe there's an absolute right to have any weapon on earth, machine guns, anything. At the other end stand students who believe that no one should have guns. Guess what? Very few students stand at the polar extremes of this gun debate. Most students stand in the middle of this ideological chain. They reflect their parents, who believe there is room for compromise and room for agreement. So why can't we agree? We can't agree because we have framed this argument as pro-gun versus anti-gun. That is wrong. This argument for me is school safety or no school safety. It is whether our students have the right to go to school each day without fear for their lives, whether they can study without wondering whether an intruder will burst into their classroom. When you frame this as an argument about school safety, it crystallizes the debate. Who could possibly be against school safety or think we shouldn't do everything possible to protect our children? As parents, who could possibly let this issue fade away like it has every single other time we have had a mass shooting? No parent would ever take for granted their child's safety. So what can we do? Let's put everything on the table. Maybe we do need a policeman stationed at every school. Maybe we do need to increase mental health funding to screen kids in trouble. And maybe, just maybe, we need to ban military weapons from being sold. Let's commit here today to hold our state legislators and our congressmen's feet to the fire. Let's demand that the very least they can do is abandon the absolutist NRA talking points that have made it a crime to have any discussion at all. Yeah. Let's demand that they put school safety at the top of the agenda. It must be done now. Let's insist that not one more child be murdered in a school. As a former captain, I proudly wore the Eagle Globe and anchor that symbolized my commitment to the country that I proudly served and to the Marine Corps that I loved. I carried weapons by the very grace of God I never had to use. I believe that there is a place for regulated pistols and rifles in our society. Regulated pistols and society.
Yeah, Dad!
Let us set aside the anger and vitriol that has prevented us from having an honest discussion about this life and death issue. Let us all come to the table with ideas and facts and information and goodwill. Adults, let us promise to the students of this community that we will not let this issue die, that we will call our state legislators, we will write to our congressmen, we will visit Harrisburg and demand change. We cannot allow a few bereaved students from Parkland High School to carry our water. We must be the change we wish to see. Let us pledge to our students as they pledge to the flag every day that the politics of a few will not dictate the safety of us all.